Hello and welcome to Over the Top with Natasha Garcia. Listen, I am so happy that you decided to spend your time with me today because time is, if you spend it like money, then you can spend it with whomever you want to. And so I'm just honored that you chose to spend your time with me today. Listen, over the Top with Natasha Garcia is talking about 5 steps to living your dreams. So I'm going to be your guide today as we navigate through your life and your dream. Now, some people are just fine with making it in life, and other people want to make it to the top. Well, I suggest that we make it over the top, over the dream, beyond the dream, to the next dream and to the next dream, exceedingly and abundantly above anything you can ask or think, because it is all possible when you believe. So I want to start by just telling you my story. I think my story means so much for you to understand that it hasn't been easy. A lot of times you'll look at other people and you want to have kind of what they have, or you may want to do what they're doing, but you think, oh, their life is probably easy. It's come naturally for them. They didn't have to work hard. Well, let me tell you something. My dream began at 10 years old. I remember being 10 years old and my life changed forever. My mom took me to a concert. And in this concert, there was a 10-year-old that was actually singing. And I was watching her sitting on the edge of my seat. I felt like destiny met destiny that day. I knew at the end of that concert, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I went over to my mom and I said, Mom, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. You have to help me. I don't want to do anything else but what I just experienced. And my mother's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. So let's walk up and meet the girl. So we went up. We met the young lady and her mom. My mom said, hey, my daughter watched your daughter and said this is what she wants to do. I think she can sing okay. I'm not really sure. We were invited to an audition. I auditioned with the girl, and the very next concert that she did, we did it together. I couldn't believe it. My life literally changed. So I went from thinking this is something I want to do to actually doing it. So fast forward, at age 15, I won a talent show, and the prize was a record deal. I got a record deal at 15 years old. And so I got to record an album. At that time, I think it was called an LP, a vinyl record called The Next Time. And it changed my life. Beyond that, I continued to sing, travel. I moved to Georgia, met my husband, and this is when I found out about entrepreneurship, and that a dream that I thought that I had was just the beginning. It was the vehicle. God put me in the car to make me think that singing was all that I was supposed to do, and I had no idea that my gift would inspire so many people around the world. So understand that your dream, it's so important that you follow your dream or the things that you feel like God is putting in your heart to do, because if you don't do that, you'll never really make it to the place that He wants you to get to, because that's just the beginning. So believe it or not, it's just the beginning. You're just getting in the car. And once you get in the car and you trust the driver and you trust the road that He has you on, you will go to a place that you never imagined. And I'm living that today. I'm living my dream. 16 years, I own AGI Performing Arts and Entertainment Company. My husband and I started this dream with $200 and a dream. So many people said, oh, you need a business license. You need a business plan. You need a loan. You need this. You need that. My husband and I just knew that we were going to execute. I execute well. That's something that I enjoy doing. You tell me the vision, I'm going to execute. So we just started. We just started to tell everyone that we came in contact with what we believe God told us to do. And believe it or not, our first day in business, we had a room full of people that showed up. Not only did they show up, but they sowed seed into what they believed that we were supposed to do. So let me tell you something. Don't wait for anybody to tell you that it's okay for you to live your dream. Don't wait for anybody to give you a stamp of approval. You don't need that. All you need is a dream and execution. You need to be able to tell people about what you want to do, and trust that God will bring the people that you need to bring in your life to help you do that thing that you want to do. So 16 years later, I have several groups in the industry. They're signed. 2 of them are signed to Candy Burris, people on TV, people on movies, people on Broadway, people with record deals, all because I made a decision to say, I'm going to take a chance on me. And I'm going to do the thing that I believe that God called me to do. So the first point to living your dream, first point, is finding your voice. Now, remember we talked about when I was 10 years old and I was sitting in that seat next to my mom and I saw this girl doing what I wanted to do. At that point, I had a little voice and I said, I want to do that. I think that's something I want to do. But when I'm talking about finding your voice, I'm talking about stepping out from the crowd. I'm talking about going from I think I can to I can and I will and I can do this. I'm called to do this. I trust God told me to do this and I am going to do everything that I need to do to get to that place where I can live my dream. So finding your voice for a person who is shy, for a person who doesn't have the talent. Maybe you want to be a singer, but everybody's telling you you're not good. Well, you have to do something more than just say, I want to be a singer. If everyone's saying you're not good, maybe you need to go and find a vocal coach and say, listen, I have a passion, I have a dream. This is what I want to do, but what I hear in my head is not coming out when I open my mouth. Can you help me? Can you help me learn how to sing? And you take baby steps towards that dream with that coach who will teach you how to breathe, who will teach you vocal scales and all of that stuff till one day, maybe you'll be able to sing. So I have a story to share with you. My first lesson that I did with someone when I was 18 years old, I was her vocal coach. My cousin came to me and said, listen, I have a daughter who wants to sing and I think that you are the one to teach her. And I'm like, I'm not a vocal coach. I'm just a singer. She said, teach her everything that you know. If you teach her everything you know, she's going to be amazing. I trust you. Just teach her what you know. So she comes to my house because I didn't have a school at that time. I was 18. And she stands in front of me and I said, okay, sing for me. And she said, I got a call from an old friend. We talked about how things had changed. And I said, no, sing. She said, I am singing. I said, no, baby, that's not singing. You're talking. So I ran out of the room and I said, excuse me, excuse me, I can't teach her. I cannot teach her. She's not singing, she's talking. And my cousin said, listen, I trust that you can help her. You have a gift. You just don't know it. Go back in and teach her to do what you do. So I go back into the room. I get back in front of my keyboard and I say, okay, listen, I'm just going to play a C and I just need you to sing this note. And that's the lesson for today because right now you're not singing, you're talking. So let's just sing this note. And so I pressed the C. She barely sang the note. I sang the note, put it on a tape recorder for her, said, go home and practice this. In my mind, I'm thinking, this is not happening. She's not a singer. She comes back the next week and I say, okay, show me what you got. I hit the C and this girl sang the C. She went from talking to actually holding a note for 4 beats. And I was like, oh my God. And I learned a valuable lesson that day. Never underestimate people and never tell them what they can't do. Because so many people told her that she couldn't sing and that she would never be able to sing. And in 1 week, she went from not being able to hold a note to holding a note. And that made me excited. So I was like, okay, all right, let's do this. So I gave her another note and another note. And as the weeks progressed, she actually got better. And today, this was years ago, she's a singer. She sings at her church. She sings on her praise team. She's very good. And that let me know, number one, that I had a gift to help people learn how to sing. But number two, I would never tell people what they can't do, no matter how bad they are in my presence. They may come to me and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to give them the truth. Hey, we got a long way to go. This is not looking good. This is what you need to work on. But I believe that if you have the will and you have the drive and you have the faith and you have consistency and you're persistent, you can do anything that you want to do. There is no limitations to what you can do. So that's one of my stories about finding your voice. Another way to find your voice is to let people know what it is that's on your heart. Now, you have to be careful who you share your dream with, because you've got the dream killers, you've got the haters, you've got the people who are going to say you can't do it. But the more you speak it, it becomes a reality to even yourself. I think a lot of times, sometimes those dream killers and those haters are ourselves. It's us. It's that voice in our head that tells us that we're not good enough. It's the enemy. I say it's the enemy who says you're not good enough. So sometimes you have to speak out loud even to yourself and say, I can do it. I can do all things. I can sing. I may not be the where I want to be, but I'm better today than I was yesterday. That's another way that you find your voice. Another story that I have for you is my husband, Craig Garcia. For those who know him, those who may not know him, he had a passion to sing before I met him. It was hilarious to me as I went to his house after we were married, and we watched some videos of him, home videos. And when I tell you, this guy wasn't making a sound that anybody would be excited to hear. He was making a joyful noise, but it wasn't a noise that anybody would say, yes, he's a good singer, let's hire him. But something about Craig Garcia is that he believes that he can do anything. And so he worked by himself. Those videos that we were watching, as I was laughing at each video, the further we got to watching the videos, he was getting better and better and better. And finally, I watched a video where he sang at a talent show and won the talent show. So I think that some people are born with a voice to sing, and some people are taught how to sing. But the most important thing is, whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's baking cookies, whether it's being a chef, whether it's mentoring girls, whether it's becoming a doctor or a lawyer, whether it's becoming an actor. There's so many things that people want to do in life. I am here to tell you that if it's a desire of yours, then I believe that it was placed in you before the foundation of the earth, that it was something that was given to you, and you have to explore it. If you don't explore it, you'll feel some type of void, some type of emptiness that this is something that I want to do, but I've never really gone after it. I have adults that I work with right now who have regular jobs. They may be working in their field of choice, but it's something inside of them that keeps saying, there's more to you. There's more to life. You can do more. You can be more. And if you just follow that voice to the place of, you know what, I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, and I am going to live my dreams, whatever that is. I want to encourage you today to step out, to step up, to go after the thing that you've been afraid of, the very thing that you've been afraid of. Listen, when I started as a singer, one thing that I would never do is I would never talk. I was confident in singing. I would stand up in front of people. I would grab the microphone. I wouldn't introduce myself. I wouldn't say a word because I was so nervous to speak, but I had confidence in singing. And look at me today. I'm talking to you, right? Because I took a step outside of my comfort zone. As I got into the car, I found my voice. I got into the car of the dream of singing, and it has landed me to a place where I'm inspiring people all around the world, including you. I'm inspiring you. So the very thing that I was afraid to do, I'm doing it. What do you do when you fear flying? What do you do when you fear flying? Well, you get in the plane. Because if you fear flying and you never fly, then you won't ever be able to conquer that fear. So if you fear living your dream, if you fear stepping out, if you fear, failure, there is no failing when you're going towards something that's greater than you. Failure is just fuel. It's food. It gives you nourishment. It teaches you what didn't work, so now you know what does work. But most importantly, you have to find your voice. You have to settle into, I am someone, I'm created, the mere reason that I'm on the planet The mere reason that I exist is because there's something that God predestined me to do. And until I connect with it, I won't feel complete. I won't feel whole. You have to connect to your passion. And sometimes that passion can be found. So many people say to me, okay, Natasha, I hear you. I'm glad that you know how to live your dream. And I'm glad that you're living your dream. But what happens when you don't even know what that is? When you don't know what that is? Well, I say, go back to your childhood, number one. Think about that thing that you used to do when you were a kid, that you enjoyed, and you would do it all day long. For me, it was singing. You know, my mom would say, you're on punishment. You can't watch TV. No problem. I'll go in my room and sing 90 songs, you know, because I enjoyed it. And I believed that that was the closest place that I had as a kid to God, because he gave it to me, right? So think about, did you like baking when you were a kid? Did you like reading when you were a kid? What is it that you enjoyed doing as a kid that you would get lost in and you would do all the time? That's the first place to travel, to try to find that thing, that passion. Second thing is, what would you do for free? What would you do if there was no money? No one could pay you, but you could just get up in the morning and do exactly whatever this thing is all day, and you didn't even care if you got paid to do it. Those two places, if you start there, you will begin to tap into maybe not the destination, but remember that car that I talked about? It'll get you in the car. At least you can open the door and say, you know, wow, I really with children, or I really love elderly people, or I really love whatever it is. And as you begin to take a journey for yourself, start out moving forward towards that thing that you love, it will begin to guide you. It will begin to direct you to the place that you couldn't even imagine. Not just making it, not barely making it, not making it to the top, but making it over to the top. Because over to the top is where we're blessed to be a blessing, where we have so much that we can help others. Now we can lift up the next generation and help them make it to their dream. But you can't do that if you're not living your dream. So I really want to encourage you today to start with just finding that voice. Maybe you need to say to someone who you love, who's close to you, that you've never uttered a word about what's in your heart. Hey, I think I may want to do this. Maybe that's your step to finding your voice. Hey, to your husband or to your parent or to your wife, I've always loved photography, or I want to do videos, or I want to be a motivational speaker. Whatever it is, finding that voice for you is going to be to just say it. What's the worst that could happen, right? You're going to take a chance on you. So I challenge you today to take a chance on you. Listen, remember that if you don't dream, you'll never know what's possible. I believe that God gives us dreams so that he can put desires in our heart that he can fulfill, because he wants to dream more than we do. So always remember to dream. And I want you to repeat after me. I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. Say it again. I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. Finally, I'm a dreamer. And you have to yell it, so I don't know where you are, but just yell. I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. Listen, I thank you so much for spending this time with me. As I said, if you spend time like you spend money, then it's your choice on how you spend it. But I appreciate you spending this time with me. My name is NatarshaGarcia. You can follow me on social media, Natarsha4You on Instagram, or NatarshaGarcia on Facebook. I look forward to connecting with you and sharing more about how you can live over the top.